This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Right in the middle of this series of matches with Bob Backlund is when Pat becomes the first Intercontinental Champion. And you've told a hilarious story before about why this fictitious tournament happened where it happened. First, I guess, explain, I know you weren't there, but you know the story. The reason the Intercontinental title was created, number one. Number two, how easy it was to explain how there was a new belt back then. And number three, the real reason it happened where it quote unquote happened.
Well, they created this new championship. They had a North American championship, needed something bigger than North American, hence the Intercontinental Championship. But they were just creating a championship and needed a champion. So Pat was going to be the first Intercontinental Champion. Okay. But he's got to basically debut the belt and this new championship. So Vince Jr., when they're talking about, well, how do we do this? This is simple. We have a tournament. Okay. But we don't actually have to have a tournament. It's just we tell them about a tournament that took place somewhere. And you've got to understand that in the 70s, and it was a simpler era, maybe a more innocent era. We didn't have internet. People weren't as worldly as they are now. And your geography and history is what you learned in school and what you retained. So to an audience in New York and in the Northeast, you could name any faraway, like Tunisia. Nobody knows where the fuck Tunisia is. But it sounds exotic.
Oh, God.
All right. When Mark Lewin used to talk about Singapore and Kevin Sullivan talking about, he would just make up names and shit of faraway places. You know where Oil Trough, Texas? You know where Oil Trough, Texas is?
No.
Okay. You know where Dallas is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's nowhere near there. Anyway, you have these places that this shit happened, and they just explained. And Pat, with his French accent, had a hard time pronouncing words sometimes.
Sure.
So Vince gave him he says, where'd I win the title? He says, Rio de Janeiro. And Pat says, what? Rio de Janeiro. Rio Janeiro. What? And the more that Pat would butcher the name, the more that Vince would insist.
Has to be now.
He would tell people, now, Patrick, Pat Patterson, the new Intercontinental Champion. Pat, tell us about this tournament. Where was the tournament held? And it was Rio. And Pat just shortened everything to Rio because he couldn't say De Janeiro. To the day he passed, he couldn't say De Janeiro.
And
that wasn't in Rio. Fuck you.
Hey, by the way, really cool little tribute that you guys did to him last week on SmackDown, showing the first Intercontinental title and all that. I think a lot of people on Twitter wanted to say, hey man, they should, whenever they need to crown a new champion, they should have a Pat Patterson Memorial Intercontinental title tournament or something. But it was really cool to see, as a belt nerd, how different the belts looked, back then to now. And for that to be there on that night, pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got that belt sitting in my office.
Well, there you go.
You want to see it?
I would love to see it.
Okay. I'll show you one day. It's in the office at the office, not the office here.
Right. You got many offices now.
I got many offices.
You got a TV office,
gigantic Christmas tree here. I got this office. I got that office out there where the Christmas tree is. I got the office in the office.
Then you got the office in the sky.
I got the office in the skizzy.
And you got the office at TV.
I got the office at TV.
Hey, I know we're not talking about new stuff, but you're getting a new office tomorrow, right?
I guess I am. Yeah.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.